Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Gabby. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And this is the second episode of Get Your Mind Right, where we have discussions of mind, body, and spirit. And today on our network, we are going to be talking about double standard, hashtag dub standard, because I didn't want to put double in the whole thing, to just shorten it. But yeah, we're going to be talking about double standards. And today we have two new guests. Introduce yourselves.
You know what I'm saying? Go by NAYSHUN or NAYSHUN, you know what I'm saying? You can call me either one. It's my name, baby.
How y'all doing? My name's SHON.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, and so like I said, today we're going to be talking about double standards. And so basically what that looks like is it's just very vague. That could be LGBTQ, men versus women, family matters, all that. But today we're going to be talking about men versus women. So question 1. Why does society treat single moms and dads differently?
Do you want to go first or like...
I might need a good 5 seconds.
I'm like, well, I mean, I would truly feel like in an instance, honestly, like a single mother, you know, it's like she has to, you know, hold the kid for 9 months, you know, has to birth the kid out. And, you know, if there's two parents, it definitely would feel better and it would be a lot more stable in the household for the mother to, you know, have her peace, you know? And I feel like it's just jacked up when a man just bounces out, honestly, you know? Like, it's just like I don't know. It's like he has his own thing going on too, but like at the same time, like you gotta be a man and take care of your kids no matter what. And I feel like with people treating single mothers, like I feel like people treat single mothers better than like maybe single fathers. I mean, yeah, they may be like, hey, you're still doing a job too, like you're still doing a wonderful job, but like it's like some people look at the guy like, oh, you're a man, you're supposed to take care of your kids, so who cares? Like, if I don't know, it's kind of jacked up. It is a double standard.
Yeah, it's a weird double entendre. What do you think?
I think it could be multiple points to it. You could say that one of the reasons being is because a lot of situations women are seen as being weaker than men. So by that case, a woman raising a child on her own is supposed to be a symbol of great strength, whereas, as Nation said, a man is already expected to be capable of such. However, I feel that in some other cases, single fathers are sometimes a little bit pitied, maybe, versus single mothers are always, you know what I'm saying, given pride, given hyped up the assistance and insurance they need. Like, it could be anything, really.
I mean, that's kind of interesting that you guys say that, and it's interesting to hear it from like a male perspective because I am a woman who was raised by a single mother. So it was a little bit different for me on my receiving end and seeing like how my mom was treated by like friends, family, and random people on the street kind of thing. They would give her like a side glare like, oh, where's the father kind of thing. Like, oh, you're just out here having random babies with horrible men and just having men who don't take care of you kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, it's interesting that you guys brought that up because BuzzFeed, this is also like, if you guys want to go check out the article on BuzzFeed, they said that single mothers are seen as a red flag and are blamed for choosing a deadbeat dad as their child's father, but single fathers are considered a great catch and are praised for stepping up. What do you think about that?
I think that
happens a lot, but I don't...
I think what's interesting is the difference in, because that's actually the exact opposite of what I said.
Right.
However, just like you, Gabby, I was raised by a single mother who raised 4 sons, me being the oldest. And so whenever we're out, it's not side glares and, you know what I'm saying, any disrespect or looking down. It's always, wow, great job, congratulations, so impressive.
I feel like it's
amazing
different
children.
with the girls, though, because we got a lot of stigmatization, you know, we got stigmatized, especially because, like, it was just me, my mom, and my sister.
Okay.
Now it's me, my mom, my sister, and my little brother. He's 1 now. But it's like, it was just me, my mom, and my sister, and it was just more of, like, just having that like male energy and just like that protective, you know, it is scary to be a single mom with 3 women. Like that's just
that is
anybody can mess with you. Anybody can try to like break in your house because they know there's not a man in there to step up. But we did have friends and family who would come and check on us and like male figures and role models and stuff like that. But just like she did kind of get like ooh for being a single mom.
Yeah, no, that's definitely understandable because I feel like, you know, in my for me, I have honestly my mom and my dad, and so I can say for like I really can't relate like with that side with y'all only having just y'all's mother, and like, you know, I feel like for, you know, some people it's like, damn, I'm glad I don't have my dad, but for some people it's like, hey, my dad's here, like, you know, it's like, you know, hopefully like, yeah, your dad is doing okay, or, you know, one day y'all do get to see him, because I feel like it sucks to not have that father figure. Because I only have sisters, though. And so, you know, so that's why some people, like, when they come across me, they be like, oh, it's like he acts this certain way, or, like, he's this certain way. But, like, I've only, like, looked up to women. Mainly, like, my oldest sisters, you know, and then, like, I've just only hung around them. Like, yeah, I look up to my dad, but the women really in my, like, life, like, paved the way with, like, my style and all that. Like, Black queens are... You know, just magnificent. No, the mysticism is just
shout out
there.
to my Black queens,
Shout 'em
kings
out.
and queens.
And it's like, I think, isn't it like Women's History Month too?
Yes, it is Women's
You know what I'm
History
saying?
Month.
Acknowledge the queens out here.
Congratulations.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge all the queens. Everybody got to stay beautiful out here, no matter what. Every queen is beautiful in their own way. You hear me? For real.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else got something else to say on that? I mean, it seems like we're kind of having some like this little mini debate here.
Yeah, I'm in the middle, in the neutral zone. I'm like, I
can't
see.
just give everybody the title of queen. You know, the way I see it is everybody can't be king or queen. That defeats the purpose. So, you know what I'm saying? Shine your brightest always.
No dizzy for shizzy.
Okay. So, question 2. Do you believe that the average man and women are changing?
Yes.
Well,
everybody, comment down below what you think in the comment section. What do you think? Do you believe that the average woman and man are changing?
I feel like it depends on like the person. I don't know. Like,
if she did say the average.
Yeah, like the average guy walking down the street. Do you think he's changing?
I don't think average includes change then, would it? Not to that scale. Like if they were
just like average. More just like society.
Like
in
the
general?
thought process wise?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we changing as men and women in society?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, I hope so. I feel like some people still are like in the same like mindset or like scared to move on because like others, you know, can be like holding them either down or that high key, or you're like nervous to really, really like just express yourself the best way you can. And like, I feel like,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just to rebuttal that, there's also been a great increase in the number of people who are expressing themselves, and so of course that's going to counterbalance that a bit.
True.
And as long as that number continues to grow, then I think we can say the average men and women are definitely changing.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So Dr. G says it's human nature to evolve.
Yeah, that's fact.
And then Johnny D says, great convo, and then he commented again, keep up the good work. Thank you.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you.
But yeah, kind of going off question 2. Question 2. Where is it? Give me 1 second. Okay. So I found this another article of BuzzFeed. I like BuzzFeed and Vice. If you really want to find good information, I suggest BuzzFeed and Vice. I love Vice. But basically, BuzzFeed was just like, somebody posted like an article was like, my boyfriend wants me to pay 50-50 when it comes to rent, but he makes $500,000 a year. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean,
it's if you want to be perfectly
he makes $500,000 though.
I don't see there being anything wrong with wanting 50-50, regardless of how much. I think it genuinely depends on each person in each relationship, because I can't hate on a bro for saying, hey, you have here, you take half, you pay half, and that's perfectly fine. There are some others who are a bit more old school. It's like, hey, I make $500,000 a year, don't give me a dime. It just depends. It's on your preference. Sometimes I think the important case is that the couples can agree on a standard or which path they're going to take, rather than is one right or wrong.
Right. I personally don't believe it's 50-50 in a relationship. I believe it's two people going 100% in a relationship. But I don't believe in 50-50.
But 100% times 2 is 200.
No, it's two people bringing in 100% in a relationship. Not one person's bringing in 50 and the other person is bringing in 50. Two people come together and they're both bringing 100% into the relationship, not 50-50. I don't believe in that.
But adding 200% is 200%.
We're not doing the math. It's supposed to math. Obviously, it's not real math.
I still see the 50-50 though. I understand that it's still 100%. But
it's two people 100%. Giving 100%. Nah, I'm gonna give I think 50-50 as, okay, like if I cook, you do the dishes kind of thing. And then maybe take out the trash. Like if I clean the whole house, maybe you help do laundry kind of thing. That's what I believe in 50-50. But when it comes to like spouses and like money and stuff, first of all, I make my own money. I don't need a man to support me at all. I do not care. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that I don't need a man. I'm saying that, like, a man isn't a necessity for me. Because I can handle myself, regardless. Like I said, relationships are about two people coming in and being 100%, not 50-50. Because that's when it starts to be like, oh, what do you bring to the table? Don't ever ask a woman that, because you're literally devaluing the whole reason why a woman is there. And some women, you know, they're not out here doing their shit, just like some men are out here handling their business. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I just think it's two people 100%, not 50-50. What do you guys think about that, though?
I definitely see, like, the 50-50 spectrum, but then I for sure see exactly what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, it's a spectrum where both people are giving it their all to be there and around each other and comfortable and giving 100% to like understand the person. Like if you're giving 50%, it's like you're half-assing it. So I mean, like, you know, yeah, y'all can do 50-50 to match 100, but if both y'all are doing just 50-50, I kind of like see what she means by that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But it's like
I was in a 50-50 relationship before, and guess what? We're not together anymore.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying?
Okay, we're not together.
It's like, that's it. You can definitely half-assing it, because when you get 100% and you got someone doing 100%
for you,
you're gonna feel good than the motherfucker doing 50%.
I guess
you see what I mean?
I'll give it 100%.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. Nah, I hear you on that. That's real deal.
Okay, and so Charged Up Film says, yes, it truly depends on the couple's agreement. It really does. Like, everybody is different. Not everybody's going to have the same credentials as you do. It's about compromise and knowing what your partner does like, doesn't like, knowing what you like and what you don't like, so you can figure out, you know, what the right move is for you. And then Johnny Doe says 50-50 or 100 sounds like the same thing. Both parties should put in both. That's what I said. Look, both parties should put forth full effects. That's what I said. Yeah. That's literally what I meant by two people. Both parties 100%.
Yeah,
not like 50-50.
Yeah,
not like you pay the bills and you clean the house, or I drive you and
it's just like y'all both.
You're both putting in the effort for the relationship kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like because if you're doing 50-50, then what happens when that person is down and bad? What happens? Are you gonna be there to support them all the way? Are you gonna give 50 only then? Or are you gonna give your 100%? What are you gonna do? What happens when that person is down and bad, broke, no car? What happens?
Well, I mean, in that case,
in
that case, I guess 50% ain't really adequate to each one.
For real though, I mean, I mean, we all should give it 100% if you want to get in a relationship.
Yeah.
If you want anything.
I think the old school thing to say probably, please, I don't want to get like,
OG.
hopefully, shout out to all the OGs.
Oh, no.
But
Got the shout out first.
like, I just be thinking like sometimes like you tell someone to say like, give it 50%. You're not telling them to give it their all. I would like not want to tell no one give it 50. You could like at least tell them 75. You know what I mean? It's like, like if you just gotta think about it, like think a little deeper than like just like kind of than what we're saying. Like if you don't really understand, like give it to 100%. You see what I'm saying? Give it to 100%. You see what I'm saying? You gotta give it. You gotta give it your all.
Right.
No matter what.
Like, even if the outcome is going to be bad, at least you know that you put in the effort and that the right person is going to put in that same effort that you put in. Period. At the end of the day. The next person will put in 100%. There's levels to this.
Yeah, for real. Like, because 50% to F in my book.
Like I said, I tried 50-50 and we are no longer together anymore. It does not work. It's just when it comes to like morals and values, and it's just like I definitely do understand the concept of 50-50 because it's just like, if you got your back, I got your back kind of thing. But at the same time, it's not really like that. It's not really like that at all.
Why can't it be though?
But it's not. That's why it's just weird when it comes to the 50-50 because it's like, okay, you're supposed to be doing this and the other person's supposed to be doing that. Like, but then it's like, does that make any sense? And am I just talking in a circle?
I feel you. Like, I feel both of y'all. Like, on both sides, it's just like, I don't know. I just would give it 100. That's about it, really.
Okay. All right. What time is it? But yeah, it's basically. And then, kind of same thing with like the average and men and women are changing. So we're going to be talking about the Tinder swindler, okay? So if you guys haven't heard about him already, so basically his real name is Shimon Hayat. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Shimon and then Haut. He was faking a profile. Yes, the man got arrested. He was faking a profile online as Simon Lviv. Simon Lviv. And basically scamming all these women out of $10 million. And so, I don't know. 10 million.
Ooh,
10 million.
Jesus.
$10 million.
How many women did it take?
He said women didn't take any?
Yeah, how many different people did it take him to get $10 million?
I don't know.
They
only interviewed they only interviewed like 3 women.
No.
But he's been doing this since 2011, and he recently got released in 2019.
Oh, so he's back out here?
Yeah.
Right. Didn't you say
jeez.
So I don't know. What do you think about
feel like
men stealing money from women in that kind of way?
It's the same thing as women stealing money from men. It's stealing money. It doesn't matter who stole it. You stole the money.
But the thing is, he only served 5 months of a 15-month sentence in prison, and he got out for good behavior. Do you think he should have got a longer sentence?
I feel like,
especially because that's a dating website.
Well, I don't know what type of sentences.
People are looking for love, not to get scammed.
Wait a minute now. I don't think you can start factoring in that for the law, though. Because if that's the case, any sentence could be anything because your feelings was hurt. I don't think we should start doing that.
I feel like the only thing, though, with, like, him stealing money from these women, I feel like, it's like, what's the cause? You know what I'm saying? Like, why was he stealing money?
And that's what I was trying to figure out. I was just like, why? What was the cause behind this? Because, no, you're totally fine. But I was really trying to research and be like, okay, what was his motives? Like, why did he do it? Like, and like, he recently put in an article like, oh, I'm not a monster. I really was genuinely just looking for love. No, you weren't. You were looking for checks. Okay?
Yeah, now, if you captain like that, and he might just be someone who, like, puts on a persona to get something.
That's what I'm saying.
And there's people out here like that. So be safe out here, people that's watching. Mm-hmm. For real, people be fake.
Right.
Like, I feel like with him doing that, yes, all, like, 100% wrong. I just feel like hit the call. Like, I don't know. It's just like, what was you doing it for?
Yeah,
So,
I couldn't figure out his
is the
motive.
reason?
If you want to watch it, it is on Netflix. It's called The Tinder Swindler. As you can see, it has a little hook and a ring. He was literally dangling. Oh gosh, it's crazy.
He
And
was
this,
on Tinder. Wow.
he was on Tinder scamming people, and this kind of moves back into this. We're still talking about the same thing, but now we're going to be talking about the movie Hustlers. Now that was based on a true story, and it's basically, the story is about, if you haven't seen the movie already, it's about how strippers were basically drugging men and taking them back to the strip club and running they check. That's why there's limits at the strip club now, because they were literally just clearing their business cards, their credit cards, their debit cards, hundreds and thousands of dollars in one night, cash out. Okay.
Some monies.
And it's funny, it's not funny at all. But I just think it's not funny at all. I wouldn't want to be drunk and drugged and have my money stolen. I don't think anybody should have to be put through that at all. But it's even interesting because the rapper Cardi B said that she used to do that back in her stripper days. So it's like, what do you think about that?
I mean, that's just wrong. Girl, I don't
but
care.
But then it's like motives. Like,
I
feel like some people probably really was doing it because they like really down. I mean, it's bad, yes, but like some people probably are really down bad. I don't know. It's not like, yeah, it's a crime, but like at the same time, hey man, like I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do it, but at the same time, these people out here, like, I don't know. There's certain things called like karma that you never know, like what that person could have did, and that karma could have came back on them. But then also you just like, you know, you just never know. Like, I just feel like it doesn't make it right, but at the same time, like, yeah, we get around with our money, we do this, all that, but like at the same time, I feel just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably trying to justify it, but there's no way to justify this. I'm like, I don't think you can. I'm like, this shit, it is wrong. I was trying to really think
all the way through. Doesn't matter who you are.
No.
Doesn't matter who was
trying to contradict what I said.
Right. But their sentencings were shorter than his. It was, and they even got probation. So the people, the ladies, it was 4 ladies and 1 guy apparently. 2 of the ladies got 5 years probation, so that basically means they get to walk free with a parole officer. And then the other 2, they got the same sentence, but 4 years of weekends in jail.
Yeah,
I mean, do you think they should have got a bigger sentence for that? I mean, you're drugging people and stealing money from them.
Yeah,
that sounds like a couple of felonies, actually.
Yeah, because that
sounds like a couple of life sentences, if you ask me.
For some people, you know, if it was someone of like maybe a different race or so, yeah, they for sure would have got like a higher, you know, sentence. But I mean, you know, what country we're in and stuff, it's like, it's sad that I can even like say it so normally, like that these people can get off like that and commit like such a, you know, it's not like it's murder. It's not like a super harsh, yeah, like crime.
Violent,
but like, you know, they did take something from someone. So like in general, it's like, dang, you didn't have to do that, and you still did it. And so I feel like, yeah, like, you know, they definitely should have got maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm not the judge, but it's like they should have got a bigger sentence for sure, because I don't know, there's other people who, like, for example, like scam right now, or maybe, and they get caught, like the people from the PPP loans going down, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know. It's like they can be getting 30 some years and they didn't even really take money from anyone, I guess, from the banks necessarily, but you know, it's like, is that committing a crime? I mean, you know, it's just paper.
But the crazy part about it all is that the reason why the men didn't report anything is because they didn't want to be seen as victimized by women. And you can see in the movie, like, so it shoots a scene of the police station, right? And like, the police officer picks up the phone. He's like, hey, I was at a strip club and my money he immediately put the phone down. He was like, he hung up the phone. He was like, I don't even have time for this. And the man literally just kept calling. It took one person to finally be like, okay, I don't know what happened when I went to the strip club last night, but $125,000 are gone out of my business account, and they're saying they're gonna fire me, okay? My wife's saying she's gonna leave me, like, it was crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty sad.
But, okay, now we're done with this discussion. We will take a break. We'll see you in 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. See? with Get Your Mind Right, and today we have a special guest. Brianna, introduce yourself. All right. There she is!
Hello, Brianna.
All right, perfect. And so she is here today to segue into our question 3. And question 3 is, why do you think birth control is pushed on women at a young age instead of men? And then obviously you guys can ask and answer.
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think it just basically boils down to power, and the hierarchical nature of power in our society. Like, men are typically white men are the end all be all of everything, and they have to maintain their own personal power and their systemic power. And so population control is a huge part of that, controlling who can give birth, controlling who is acceptable to give birth, and who is supported in birth as well, and child rearing in general. It's maintenance of a systemic power structure.
Okay, good response. What do you guys think? Especially because you guys are young men, you know what I mean? Like, did they tell you anything about, like, birth control or, like...
You know, my first, like, experience with birth control may be, like, I'm gonna be honest.
My mic is on.
It probably is truly when I was in middle school and when I would hear about it, but I feel like just how, you know, your friend said, it's definitely a way of population control and trying to control who can give birth. And, you know, I just necessarily messing with people naturally just giving birth on a, you know, regular basis. Because even I don't have any kids, but people will be telling me, like, you know, they have to pay for their kids to even leave the hospital. And it's like, why are we paying for humans? I just don't understand it. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just, I don't know. There's certain things we just don't. I don't feel like we have to pay for that. And, you know, we should be given the freedom to just be born and, you know, experience this beautiful world that we are literally brought into. Like, I feel like there's other people who are so, like, corrupted in the thought process where they just don't want others to succeed. And, you know what I mean? We're all coming up. In general, it doesn't matter. They don't really have to, like, want to see us succeed or not. But I feel like people should just, I don't know, try to change a thought, or just help your best man or your best friend or someone, just help them get a different type of thought on peace and knowledge. Because, I don't know, if there should be no way we should be just, like, I don't know, like, trying to control, like, the natural flow of beings out here. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, that's actually, like, I never really thought about that, honestly, and that's actually really, sad.
And then what's interesting that you even say that is because Vice was actually doing a study. I love Vice, okay? I love Vice, okay? But they were doing a study, and basically they were saying that they were trying to make, like, heating pads or something like heating. Apparently, like, heat can be male birth control for y'all.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So imagine putting a lamp to your...
Wow.
And then that's y'all's birth control. But it's even crazy how they make it, like, all comfortable and like for y'all, but then for us it's like we get the most painful procedures ever. Like,
it's all in the arm.
Something like,
yeah.
I suggest don't get the arm. But what do you have to say?
To that single point specifically is just the simple fact that the male reproductive organs they exist externally almost, and so they are a lot more sensitive. Mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily take all of that in order to impact any functions. As a matter of fact, any slight damage could cause some issues for a little while. So that point...
No, I could see that. But just like...
But I have a question for you. What was the original question that you asked?
Why is birth control pushed on women, on young women instead of men? Especially because women get pregnant and have to keep that baby for 9 months, but y'all can get 9 women pregnant at the same time. So why is it pushed on women more than men?
Like how
I thought condoms were supposed to be men's birth control.
I
mean that's like
it is a
one of the
form.
highest
It is
so
a form.
I don't think.
But I'm talking more about like we get IUDs, we get the ring, we get the patch, we get the shot, we get the. I don't. Just
there is a
it's
lot.
bad. Yeah,
it's
it's
not really. Damn, yeah, condoms. That's about it.
Yeah.
Or vasectomy. That's about it.
And then what do you think, Bree? I mean, you kind of already touched bases, but what do you think?
I mean, it's a really, really good point. As far as, honestly, I'm still stuck on the we're selling people thing. And that really hit because it's exactly what it is. You know, it's marketing people. And why in the world are we pushing this in such a gendered manner for one thing, but also like why are we making this a marketing issue at all? That's a big thing that I've noticed too, is like the marketing for it, the message behind it. You're right, it's very pushed on women from a very young age, and we're told like, hey, you have all these options, and if none of them work, that's what happened to me, is like the reason that I went to get my tubes tied is because birth control doesn't work for me. It really, really messes with my system. Like it caused a lot of issues for me all throughout growing up. And even with medical issues, it still took forever for me to actually get my tubes tied. And those options, you know, like you said, those options for birth control aren't available for men. Or they're not pushed for men at all. And not only that, but like you brought up the Vice article, I read an article a while back where there was a male birth control, there was a male hormonal birth control, and it had a bunch of side effects that the men really didn't like. It had, you know, moodiness, weight gain, depression possibilities, like all these things that women have been dealing with regarding birth control for a very, very long time. And then all of a sudden it's a side effect in a male birth control. And they were like, nope, get it out of here. We don't want it. We're not dealing with that. And so it's very interesting that like these things that we not only have had to tolerate for years, as soon as it's applied in the same circumstance to men, they're like, we can't tolerate this. What's with that?
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's actually kind of crazy.
That is really interesting.
Wow.
I just wish I had done more research and preparation. Happens.
I mean, I wanted to throw the questions at you so I could get your honest, true opinion instead of like a rehearsed one.
Word.
This is about being real and open and having that discussion, even if you don't know what to say. Sometimes you don't know what to say.
You gotta improv it. You gotta
Dangerous.
hit it.
But while you're here, Bri, I have some questions for you. What do you want to tell young women out there who want this procedure?
Don't be afraid to make a fuss, honestly. Like, don't be afraid to really push back, and not just to advocate for yourself, because like that's it's easy enough to say like, hey, advocate for yourself. But the problem is like that takes a lot of medical literacy to do so accurately. It takes a lot of knowledge of the medical system. And that I think is something that we're really missing. That key point is like, if you want to really get a procedure done like this, that's this controversial and that's this big of an issue, really, really hammer into the research and know your terms, know what you're actually taught, like know what you're going in to ask about. Because if you don't know exactly what you want, they're not going to give it to you. And if you don't have the words to say like, hey, I need this and this is why, they're not going to listen to you. It took me having a literal breakdown in the doctor's office. I have been asking for this procedure since the day I turned 18, practically. I do not want kids, and I've known that for a very long time. And I have been going in every single year. Every single year I have asked for this procedure. And I've been told no, or even worse, like the worst part about it is not being told no, but it's being given the runaround and never being given a straight answer. I think that's the thing that really I would encourage young women to look out for, is people just not dismissing you, but just ignoring you. Like the number of times that I got an appointment and it ended up just falling through, or it got scheduled out so far that it was inconvenient, or there was just these little tiny bureaucratic issues that piled up and made it impossible. That's really the hard part to push through. It's not being just told outright no, it's the times that you're not told no, but the answer is still no. And that's what you really have to advocate against. That's what you have to push against and be like, I know what you're like trying to do here. I know you're trying to just make me tired of it, but that's not going to happen. I need this procedure, and this is my choice for my life. Don't take it away from me.
I have a question.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not just use condoms then? I understand that there's a lot of factors in considering what birth control to use, and a lot of them are clearly really complicated. However, there is one fairly effective method, which is also fairly simple.
But wait. Before you answer that question, Bree, off BuzzFeed, it was an anonymous man. He was like, as a man, I could go to the doctor and get a vasectomy tomorrow if I wanted to. As a woman has to have 2 to 3 kids and be married for a doctor to even consider performing that procedure. So, yeah, what do you have to say to
It's a really good question, and honestly, that from anybody, like from the outside perspective, I can see exactly where that comes from. But condoms fail, and not only that, but and this could be getting into like slightly more controversial territory, but partners don't always use condoms even when they say they're going to. Like stealthing is a huge issue as far as like you enter into a convert, or you enter into like, hey, I'll have sex with you if you use a condom. That's agreed upon. But then in the moment, the guy like pretends he doesn't put it on and just, or pretends he puts it on but doesn't actually put it on.
But then is that also her responsibility to make sure that was done for her own safety as well?
That's why it's called stealthing, is because you've already done the responsibility. You've done your due diligence. You've looked, right. You've said, hey, you've entered into this, basically a contract under the agreement that he will use protection. That is your due diligence. She has done her due diligence.
But up until the moment, though, there's still the time to say, hey, where's that condom? Is it on? I need to see it.
Well, you're acting like there's only one position for, never mind.
But
honestly, though, no.
Like, seriously, this is very simple interaction that can happen.
Right.
And that pretty much solves the due diligence issue.
So if I'm having sex with a man, if I'm having sex with a man and we're going towards doing the deed, I'm supposed to check him at every 2 to 3 minute interval to make sure that he still has the condom on. I'm supposed to have such little trust in my partner. Right. That I am checking him and making sure that he is doing what he should be doing. What we entered into this agreement under my understanding that he would do this, and it's not his issue if he breaks that agreement.
I think it's the issue of both partners if the agreement is broken, but.
All right, well, let's just put a pause there. What up? It's literally spelled like that. He said, this is dope, and then commented again, but the child support laws are designed to cripple men. A woman has to say all. Okay, so that was from like earlier questions, and yeah, I do tend. That is a very common thing. Like the women will get the children more, even if the mom has like records of like child abuse and like drug abuse and stuff like that. They'll be quick to give back the children back to the mom instead of the dad, like fathers who actually really care. But that's not the thing we're talking about right now. And I got one more question for you. Why do you think it's looked down on or deemed as something bad, especially for young women? Because I'm a successful young woman myself, and I definitely have heard the occasional, I'm trying to get you pregnant, and I'm like, I want to make my money before, and I want a ring on my hand before anything. So why do you think it's looked down on?
What is looked down on?
Getting getting your fallopian tubes tied, or like selling your eggs, child free as a woman, as a young woman, especially at that, because at some point your eggs do start to deteriorate, and then you have something called menopause in your 50s, 60s, and 70s. So it's like, why is it looked down on for women, for successful women at that, who say, I don't want to have kids, to get the fallopian tube procedure? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like, damn, this is a strong topic, honestly.
Is it not looked down upon men for not having an heir?
No, not at all. Like he said, as a man, he can walk into the doctor's office and get a vasectomy tomorrow. But a woman has to be married with 2-3 kids, because at that point they're like, oh, you got way too many kids. You got way too much on your hand. You got to stop. And like, you know what I mean? But then like a man can get a vasectomy and live bachelor life free for the rest of his life without the problem of having a kid.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, they can act that way with or without the vasectomy.
Yeah. Because it's like double standards for sure. It's like a... what could I use to like compare that? I mean, honestly, it does suck for like a woman's like perspective for sure with that situation. But I feel like with the guy situation, I don't know. It's just like, yeah, it definitely sucks too. Like, but then at the same time, it's not as bad as a woman's. You know, like we really can go in the doctor and get a vasectomy tomorrow if we really wanted to. You know, and like I think it's upsetting that a woman has to go through so many like I said, like trials and like tribulations in order to.
How long did it take you to find a doctor?
I can't count the number of doctors that I have talked to about this.
Yeah, then it's like, no, that's understandable, and like, no, and I understand what you were saying earlier, like with the condom and stuff, but like with that part too, it's like both sides, you know. I feel like nobody's gonna like, cause you got to think about it, like, you know, with everybody else's situation, like when you're in that state of mind, nobody's gonna be like, hey, like as soon as they like, you know, go into it and then they're gonna be like, you got a condom on? But nobody's gonna be thinking about that.
Nobody's thinking about that.
You know what I'm saying? This sounds like a slight lack of self-control. Take a single moment to ask a question. It takes like 2 seconds.
Yeah, that is true. But like,
trust
it's just
me, it has happened to me several times in my relationships. Where she pause, you got the condom? Yeah, I got the condom. Okay, continue.
Well, that's because you're a respectful young man.
Literally, there's some people who don't really have that thought process. You know what I mean? You're a different person.
That sounds like their fault.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just like, you know, you gotta like think like, man, if you wasn't like thinking the way you was, you know, someone, you would be in that situation, like I guess, where you wouldn't use the condom, or you know, it's just like all about, you know, discipline, self-discipline, and knowing like, hey, and also like if your partner doesn't know about it, it's all about, hey, like expressing your, you know, I wouldn't say is that like righteousness to them, but yeah, expressing your just best like form of knowledge to them with your sexual desires. Like if you need a condom in the room present, then boom. If y'all two are comfortable with not having one,
consent, consensual.
Then it's just all about that. You know, it's all about also like a man, because where like how y'all say like y'all have to go through so many like trials and tribulations, like not even say like y'all have to, you know, y'all have to go through these certain things in order to get y'all's tubes tied. And I feel like it kind of sucks. Not even kind of. That's really jacked up. Cause like then eventually, like you're gonna just have a kid because you can't get your tubes tied.
Because society is pushing that social norm on you.
Yeah, but then it's because it's like I understand like we're supposed to reproduce, but like hey, what if she don't want to? Not everybody has to.
Yeah.
And it's just like. Man, it's a really different perspective. When I really saw
right,
I'm going to talk about this all day.
We're going to read some comments. Okay. Johnny Doe. Oh, wait. Whoa. Sorry. We just got one more. Okay. Mr. DG says, I agree. A woman shouldn't have to always keep checking a man to see if he's wearing a condom. No, because that's literally, she's already done her job. You need to follow through. If you don't, then consequences later. And then, what up? Is stealthing really a high-rated stat? Because that's not a common topic with our peers. It is now, like nowadays, especially with these bad little boys in high school.
And middle school.
We are not playing that game.
Literally middle school too. Like y'all.
Middle school, high schoolers.
In middle school was the first time I learned about sex. It literally made me, things happen. I'm not even gonna express my stuff, but yes, things happen. Yes.
Johnny Doe says it's interesting that Planned Parenthood are mostly in urban neighborhoods. And that is true too.
Yeah.
And that's because that just goes to the educational system. Nobody's teaching them about sex, so they're out learning about sex by themselves, and then they gotta go to Planned Parenthood. So that's a whole different topic itself.
What about sex aren't they being taught?
Well, sex education classes, they don't really teach you the right ways. They just teach you the basics, like this happens and you have a baby. This is your parts. This is your parts. They don't really tell you how to clean nothing. They don't really tell you how to keep track of nothing. They don't really tell you how to check nothing. They don't really tell you how to be consensual about anything. They don't tell you how to be safe. Not really. They're just like, condoms. But they're not telling you, they tell you about the STDs and stuff. But you know what I mean? It's not really, it's not really more of like, make sure you find somebody you like, consensual partner, you guys like each other, blah, blah, blah. It's more of just like this, and you kind of figure it out on yourself.
Yeah. Because, like, I can agree, like, with that on, like, an instance, like, from my middle school. Like, they kind of just threw some, like, ideas at us. Like, y'all can do this, y'all can do that, y'all can do that.
Healthy boundaries.
And it was like, hey, like, it kind of got us curious, like, whoa, why don't we just go try that? You know what I'm saying? It's more like...
Instead of actually being
be careful. Like, it was like I don't know, in like my school, I'm paying for my school. It was like y'all can try this and it's kind of fun. Like, literally, that's how they made it seem. And maybe that's how us as kids picked it up, but...
Right, and I totally get it. We are in a child environment, so obviously we're not going to say everything, but just like certain things I do feel like need to be addressed that some people really don't know about, especially uneducated people, which is why uneducated people are the most pregnant right now.
Here's my question. Mm-hmm. Did either of you take sex ed in high school?
Yeah. And that's what I was saying, the difference of it. Like, when I went to
went to an all-private school from pre-K to 8th grade where we learned about math and African-American people.
That sounds pretty school-specific to me.
When I went to, like...
No, I didn't take sex ed in high school.
When I went to East, when I was in Karsh's class, I think freshman and sophomore year, I took sexual ed, but, like, it wasn't, like, the one, like, comparison from, like, the middle school part to, like, now. It was more, like... they was telling us about, like, just the certain areas that we have and, like, how to, like, they was talking more about consent. Like, I didn't even hear the word consent until, like, freshman year, but, like, I knew, like, what, like, it, the action of it, like, asking someone, like, hey, like, do you want to do this or not? Or, it's just simple, but it's just, like, they addressed it in high school around that time. I feel like people should for sure hear that a lot more. Like, I feel like people should, or kids should hear that, like, for sure in middle school. Like, instead of just telling us, like, hey, this is the condoms, and here's this, here's that, and boom. Maybe it changed up, like, I hope it has over the years, like, in middle school, but I have to say for myself, when I was in middle school, it just wasn't like that. It was just like hey, y'all can just go do that. Like, that's how it really seemed. But then in high school, though, it was more like, serious. Like, y'all can get in trouble for doing this. Y'all can, you know, you got to be for real about this. Sex isn't just like a game. It's literally like a whole soul tie where you're, you know, if you're having sex with just anyone,
exchanging
it's
energies.
It's not safe for you.
Nothing about that.
Yeah.
But what would you have to say, Bree? Like, kind of we're segueing.
As far as like sex ed and stuff goes, I fully agree. I think what the issue is that they're educating about the act itself and not so much healthy behavior surrounding sex. So they're telling you like, oh yes, this is how you do it. You know, square peg, square hole, put them together, call it a day. That's it. But they're not really saying, what are, like you said, the boundaries. What are the boundaries for it? What are the actual behaviors that make sex healthy? Because sex is a healthy behavior. It's natural.
It's how we came here. Okay, it's
So
how we're
then
all walking this earth.
Then I must react, Nation. The sex that you took in high school, did that cover any of what Brianna just stated?
Like, yeah, the consent stuff, yeah. I would, like,
So my idea is the simple fact that maybe we should stop teaching sex ed to children and possibly hold that off to high school. That actually may deter some of the curiosity, because if they weren't given the opportunity to find out about it to begin with,
but then
some of that situation can
when
easily
did you
be.
learn about sex? You said you learned about sex in middle school, right? So you were
That's
already
not
exposed to
what
it
I said.
before high school.
That's not what I said.
But were you exposed to it before high school?
Well, I said that, you know,
He said
I was exposed to sexual
Okay, wait.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
Just wait. Let me just say these last two comments and then we can get back to the debate. Okay, and then Charged Up Film says, sounds like that double standard y'all was talking about. And then, what up? Should sex education be reinstalled into schools? And if so, middle school or high school or both? Which is basically what we're about to talk about. So, hash it out. Continue.
I mean, I would just say, like, they should teach it in a better, like, you have to detail it for middle schoolers. Like, you can't just be like, you know, like, kids are so curious, they're only gonna, like, and they're only gonna hear what they want. I mean, people do that as well, but as a child, like, you have to understand that there's already so much going through a little kid's brain. So looking at a teacher talking about this subject, they're only gonna really hear what they want. But, like, at the same time, you have to structure it and you have to really, 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 like, express that this is something that is dangerous. This is something that, you know, did bring you into this world. This is something that is more to it than just getting hard or her doing, like, just going together, like, and that's it. No, it's not just something so simple.
Yeah.
It's
You
something
really do gotta
very
watch
real.
who you have sex with, people, because you can be depressed after, you can be angry after. It literally is an exchange of energies.
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say, Deshaun?
Man, I might have forgotten.
Oh no. But you were basically trying to talk about, like, if we were supposed to put it in middle school or high school or children in general.
Well, I mean, it seems that, because I took sex ed in high school, and my sex ed in high school was fairly thorough, and I'll have to admit that. I don't remember much of anything from sex ed in middle school. In fact, in middle school, you had to get a permission slip to even take sex ed from your parents.
I remember that too.
So, in that matter, I think then the responsibility shifts between parents and the schools.
All right. I think that's a good place to end. Thank you so much, Brianna, for coming to the show and saying what your lovely mind had to say. Because I know you got some opinions. I love when everybody comes out of their room. This is my sister's roommate. Everybody comes out of their room and we all just have, like, great topics and discussions. Everybody just, great minds think alike. And I just thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. It's been wonderful.
Of course. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.
Deuce.
All right. And then, ooh. Are we still on live? Okay, cool. We're still alive.
Like,
All right. So now that the 3 questions of the day are done, we are going to be playing a Kahoot game. And you guys know what Kahoot is, right? Anybody who was in high school from like 2016 to 2020 knows what Kahoot game is. So basically, it's a fun little quiz game. Just keep the brain going and a fun little ender to the show. So I guess let's go on break, and then we'll see you in a couple minutes. everybody. Welcome back. We're getting ready for the Kahoot game now, guys. Okay, so here's the code. It's 666. Wow. 659. But actually 666 is the amount of, what is it? Neurons, electrons, and
carbon 12 that
creates
melanin. That is in our skin. We are not the mark of the beast. Don't believe that. Oh, I was like my nickname.
There we go. All right, let's do this one right.
All right. And this game is called Eat Your Vegetables and Fruit. So let's see if you know your veggies and fruit.
Ooh.
Question 1. Which vegetable is 96% water? Obviously, don't look at my answers.
I was gonna say,
Guys better figure it out.
what are options?
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah, you playing.
90%.
90%.
96%.
96%.
Cucumber, pickle, green beans, or bamboo.
96%.
I guess a pig. I don't know. Fuck. I was thinking a cucumber.
Well, she said vegetable, and aren't cucumbers fruits? God
No.
damn it.
No.
Whoops.
An
Cucumber is
avocado is a fruit.
96% water. That's why it tastes like that. I didn't even know.
Yeah, man. Real
Of
refreshing.
course, a pickle isn't 90%.
Pictures of the fruit.
Hey,
All right, he's in.
Fruit.
He's in.
Sorry, no cookie for you.
All right, next. Question 2. How do you spell
Oh.
zucchini?
Oh, snap.
Oh.
Snap. It's okay.
I had to make you guys confused.
I ain't
had
confused.
to.
I don't even know.
How
If
do
I
you
get it
spell
wrong.
zucchini?
I ain't confused. You don't grocery shop?
No, I do not. Not for no zucchini.
You spell it Zucchini. Zucchini is how you
I
spell.
definitely can't second guess myself.
It's okay, guys. Zucchini. True or false? Pineapple is fully mature at 2 to 3 years of age.
How am I supposed to know this?
That's interesting.
I didn't even know that.
But if they did, though, are we eating 5-year-old pineapples? Or are pineapples not ready?
Oh my gosh, a pineapple for
basically,
2.
yeah, it takes 2 to 3 years for a whole pineapple to mature, sometimes even longer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. You learned something new.
Oh, that's... I forgot what question?
I'm in the top running. I'm number 1. I'm kidding. No, I kind of do. I already know these questions. Question 4. How do you spell asparagus? Asparagus.
Oh, okay, I see the asparagus.
I said
Yeah,
asparagus. Got to trip you guys up a little bit. How do you spell asparagus? I love asparagus.
I hope I spelled it right.
Just drizzle some olive oil, some cracked pepper, some Parmesan cheese. Okay, lemon.
I'm coming for next.
Asparagus. Okay, so you spell it Asparagus.
For those who didn't know.
Right. Let me check some of the comments because sometimes the people like to comment too. All right. CW said, "Is PM dawn?" Yes. Yes, it is. I don't. Okay. I don't know. It's like there's AM and PM, and somebody on here said, "Is that PM dawn? Who's PM dawn?
Is he talking about?
One of these guys? I don't know. Is
know,
anybody's
PM.
nickname PM
No, not
Dawn?
PM Dawn,
DAWN? Okay.
Not here.
Sorry, CW. We don't know any PM Dawns.
My brother.
All right. Lettuce is the easiest vegetable to grow. True or false?
Oh no.
That took no time.
I got it right.
That took no time.
You're on those connections, and I came back. Boom.
Listen, I know people that
It's
can't grow nothing and
true.
grow lettuce.
It's true. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like.
It's really easy to grow,
You can't
apparently.
grow lettuce.
No, then you can't grow nothing.
It's in the dirt.
All right, and so last question of the day. Which fruit has the most sugar? Mangoes, figs, blueberries, or grapes?
Sugar?
Yep, the most sugar. You like my little...
Oh, how am I supposed to know? I don't eat a goddamn fig. What the hell is a fig?
It's like those like little like pruny like looking things. They look like a dried plum.
Oh.
And like they're really pretty and seedy on the inside.
I've never had a fig.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a mango.
All right, who's runner up? So number 3 is OG23.
Hey, and it rhymed.
Number
hey.
2 is Deus, and number 1 is me.
She cheated. She knew. She made it. She made the game.
I did make the game, but I make them like ahead of time so I can eventually forget. You know, I don't like go back and check them.
She got study, guys.
I got 4 out of 6. He got 4 out of 6, but I got 2,000 more points than he
I got 3
did.
for the OG23.
And that's because with cool, you gotta answer quickly. You get more points if you answer quickly. Forgot about that. Okay. And so that was the show today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to comment down below for more content or any questions you have. Don't forget to check out your guys', shout out your credentials.
Check out my Instagram.
Shout out your credentials.
You know what I'm saying? Check out my Instagram at NAYZE. You feel me? It's NAYIZEE. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. And then also I'm about to, finish my video soon. I'm dropping clothes soon. Doing art high, you know what I'm saying? Walking on air, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be woo! And then you know what I'm saying? We gotta keep going, flowing, glowing. What you saying? Do it if you ain't gonna move it. Get into it.
Okay.
What you talking about? You know what I mean?
Just
so yeah.
State yours.
I actually don't exist unless I'm in person.
Period. You
Works
know what I'm
for
saying?
me. All right.
You know what I mean?
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Check the IG.
Yep. Check the IG. And don't forget to get your mind right. Peace out, y'all.